Build your own business. Now is the time. With all this free time on your hands, why not take your dreams to the next level? Brand yourself by expanding on your current business. Build your own business will help motivate you to elevate your brand. Join a new host every week to see how to build your own business.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today on BYOB. It's Bring Your Own Business, Build Your Own Brand. And I'm on this show today with Natalia Levy. She hails from Tampa. She's an incredible entrepreneur, owns several restaurants, and we are going to bring our thoughts forward about leadership at this time and the mindset that everyone needs to have to bring your businesses back to life so that you are not floundering around wondering what's next. Okay? Natalia, welcome.
Hello, Faith. Hello, everybody. You look gorgeous. Love the red on you.
I'm going to try to amp my show out. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Natalia, so that we have some idea of who you are and like kind of how we're going to run this show. Because this is our first show, guys, on this particular subject.
Yes, this is our first show. I am not a business coach. I am a business owner. Have been married to an entrepreneur for about 20 years myself, so we've figured out a lot of stuff over the last 20 years. And personally, I am trained as a chef. We have several restaurants and more in the works currently. And I am certified as a health and nutrition coach. So I am very passionate about the wellness and culinary education as well.
Very cool. So you are a busy lady. We spoke the other day, and you are incredibly able to multitask, run the businesses. You have a 16-year-old lovely daughter, and so you and your husband both are.
We just got her driver's license, so I may never sleep again.
Oh, trust me, I've got stories about that. I have a 15-year-old. So it's definitely interesting. So, you know, something we're here together today because we're both entrepreneurs, and I actually do business consulting, I do life coaching, I bring capital to startup companies, multiple things, and we know that this time that everyone's been quote unquote quarantined and shut down and their businesses have been kind of left out to dry, we want you to know that this is probably one of the greatest times to be alive there could ever be. And it's so important for you to know that, for you to feel great about what it is that you do, to have passion and compassion for yourself especially. For me, teaching people a different mindset so that they can kind of overcome the obstacles or challenges in their life is incredibly important. And that's kind of what we're here to discuss today. You know, as leaders, Natalia and myself, as leaders, that's what we have to do, is we have to talk to ourselves in such a way that nothing is going to get between us and the goals and results that we choose. So how is it, Natalia, that you're leading your teams right now of people in the restaurant industry? Because it's a really big deal, because people have to be masked in some areas. The sanitization of your entire facilities and everything everyone touches. So what do you think about that? I don't want to go into a micromanagement of that, but just some important things for us to tell other business owners.
I think mindset is super important. And when you and I were speaking the other day and we were trying to go through all of these different topic suggestions, and we both agreed that having that right mindset was the biggest hurdle that we had to overcome. So I've spent many years in personal development. I've taken, I don't know, over 70 online courses on you name it. I probably have done it. So bringing all of that, bringing just that mindset of learning, constant learning. We have to be ready to pivot at a second. And I was talking to our managers, and one of our GMs, he actually made this analogy that almost every day you take the Etch-a-Sketch and you shake it up, And then we have to draw the plans all over again. We have this beautiful drawing, and then we have to start over again. And to have that pivot ready mindset has been absolutely critical. Now, for us, we have been extremely fortunate. One location has been open for 3 years, and the second location has been open for 2 years. So we have started with such strong company culture that we were so fortunate to just have every single person on the team rally. And they said, look, we will do whatever it takes. We will drive delivery cars if you need us to. I had some team members, we split them up into separate tasks. So if they didn't feel safe to come in and work in the restaurant itself. Now, just to give a perspective, we had 10 weeks of losses, straight up 10 weeks of losses, whereas March and April, I'm not sure how the other restaurants are doing around the country, but March and April are the months that we are making a lot of money. Spring break and a lot of vacationers are coming. So we had to switch the entire business model to take out on delivery. So that was, we just said, okay, you know what? Everybody on board, there's no such thing as, okay, like, I'm telling everybody what to do. It was like, okay, everybody come together as a team because we're all here to help people, because we're all in this together.
Yes, that's very true. And I think that that's really what separates leaders from managers. And for me, management is about things. You manage things and lead people. And that really makes it so much easier because you have the empathy and compassion for your employees and the people that are your team. It's like a family. So whenever you have a business, you must treat other people as you would like to be treated. And I think they call that the golden rule, maybe. And I think it's incredibly important to bring that to the table. And I think that creates loyalty. It creates a can-do attitude, because everything comes trickling down from the top. And as you know, with the employees that you have currently, that they'll do anything for you if they know that you'll do anything for them. It's a two-way street. There isn't any way around it. And people, I think, are going to fall that don't actually pivot and are able to have that compassion and empathy for their employees. I think it's incredibly important.
Yes. And one of the conversations that we have had is that, we have a certain amount of team members, but each team member has their family. So we figured out, so let's say on average, so if we have 60 employees, then we're looking at that we are supporting probably 180 other people, including their families. But if you were to look at the vendors, if you were to look at all the suppliers, if you were to look at the farmers who farm the goods, that circle just grows. So when you have a business, it's not just you solving another person's problem. It's about just really being a huge part of the community.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's what will be the difference between success and falling off. So bring your own business back to life. If it's struggled, like you said, 10 weeks of losses, I mean, anybody could allow themselves to get crushed in that. But you don't. What's the other alternative? So you either rise up or you fall down. And the people who are going to just keep going day after day, put one foot in front of the other and create something new. If you don't know what it is or you're unsure, there are always people in the community to reach out to. Somebody who's doing something and you see they're successful, pick up the phone and call them. Go into their business. Ask to speak with whoever owns or leads it. Make those resources available to you. Because as you said, Natalia, if we're all in it together, then it means one for all and all for one. Kind of simple. Look, I don't subscribe to all the garbage that's going on around out there right now, okay? Just so you know. I'm real clear about that. I don't watch the news. I don't like the nonsense. But I love people. And I think that when people work together as a team, we're unstoppable. Did you hear that? We are unstoppable. Means team. There's no I in team. We come together as community. And that's really what this show is about. I think going forward, this is incredibly important for that.
And it's super powerful. And what you and I have also discussed is that, so many people just feel entirely overwhelmed. Well, what do I do? How do I pivot? And the couple of things that I've been thinking about is, number one is declutter. And then number two is realize that all of us have been in a situation in life where we had to pivot. So have you had some massive situations in life?
Pivot. I went from being a corporate VP of a $30 million company and had to just go out and become a coach and figure it out. It's kind of like dropping out of the plane and building the parachute on the way down, literally. And it's been a challenge. There are some times when I feel overwhelmed and you just, okay, what do I do? You know what I do in those moments, just so you know, folks, is I will take a day and I'll get really quiet. I'll go to the beach. I'll get my head in a totally different space. Take a nap. Just do something that isn't related to the same things that I've been thinking about. And what that does is it allows space in your mind for you to get clear. And in those times when you're clear, you get inspired. You get inspired to call someone. You get inspired to do something. You get inspired to text Freddie and Dawn and, with AMP2TV Productions and say, hey, new Dawn Media, I need a little bit of help today. And it's there. It's available. But that clearing of your headspace is incredibly important to create what it is that you really want. Don't focus on what you don't want. The more you focus on what you don't want, the more it's going to come to you like glue. And we want to avoid that. We want to keep it clean, keep it clear, write down your goals, write down the things that you choose, and focus on those. Keep it simple. That's the one thing that we discussed also, Natalia, is keeping things incredibly simple. Don't overcomplicate. That overcomplicated voice in your head is going to run. It's in your subconscious. It's like a program. It just keeps running and running and running. And you need to shut it down. Shut it down on yourself as a leader, and then you teach your team how to do that.
Yeah, and that keeps coming back to mindfulness. And one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot is, we all get motivated in different ways. Some people, they love to listen to podcasts or TV, or they follow somebody on YouTube, on social media, or read books. So I think that especially in leadership positions, to really know exactly what motivates you in certain moments is so important. Like for me, I know that if I'm down, okay, so I can do, and I I studied energy with Institute for Functional Medicine. So how do we bring up our energy? So for me, it starts with self-care and nutrition, and maybe that is stability, like that creates the base. But then, what else do we need to do? Do I need to call a friend? Do I want to just call every day, call 3 people and just make their day and just with a compliment? Do I want to dance to music? Do I want to just go outside and put my face in the sunshine for 5 minutes just to get that vitamin D? So just really getting to know yourself and understand how you can get motivated quickly so that you can go and keep providing that motivation for your team. That makes a huge difference. And for me, I also have created, my company, one of my wellness education companies is Healthy Intent, and I actually created a whole deck of daily intention cards. So I keep flipping through that.
I like that.
To set the intention for the day.
That's very empowering. And it feeds the team. It feeds you first. And I think that that's something that you need to focus on. Remember that as the leader, you need to have self-care. You need to build yourself up so that you have something to give. And the only way you can really do that is to come back to the place of, your time with God, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to name it, and be in that clear space. And then it allows you to come up with some of the ideas that will ramp your business up, such as different venues on social media. Think about that.
Yes.
That's a big deal. So right here, we're on it now. There are so many different platforms. Like, folks, seriously, call Dawn and Freddie and get a show going. Something that talks about your business that people can see and read and get excited about, and they can, you can use part of that content. You can chop it up and put it on Instagram, chop it up and put it on LinkedIn. There's so many different ways to enhance your business model. You don't want to leave any of those things out. Don't leave any stone unturned. What do you think about that? How do you guys use that?
Yeah. It's interesting. I spoke to my pool guy yesterday. We have a huge leak at the pool right now. So I've had to live with a big mess for the last 5 weeks on top of it all. So and he was explaining to me all of these different nuances, and he was so passionate about it. And it really struck me to have somebody speaking with such passion about gutters and plumbing and stuff like that. So and I asked him, what do you think that makes you a successful business owner? And he responded with, I care.
I like that, because it's the truth.
Isn't that amazing? And he just, we got into this whole hour-long conversation about business and mindset, actually. And he said for him, it's really not about the money. He said the money just comes easy because I have the will and I have the determination, and I wake up every day with that will and determination. And his mindset is he will find a solution for whatever issue that comes up. And
powerful.
Interestingly, yeah, it is so powerful. Yes. And it got me so jazzed. And another example of that is my husband has owned multiple businesses throughout our time together. And about 8 years ago, our daughter, so she was 8 at the time, and she comes up to me and she's like, Mommy, so what does Daddy do exactly? And, I had to think for a minute. I said, what does he do? And I said, every day he solves problems, basically. So we know that something will come up. So the mindset that we've gone through and trying to teach our teams is don't get stuck on the fact that there was a problem. Acknowledge that there was a problem, and then turn into that mindset. Okay, what is the solution? What is the next step? What is the action? Everybody will make mistakes. If you listen to the biggest leaders in the world, the biggest entrepreneurs of the world, they all have made mistakes. Do they let the mistakes stop them? No.
No. You can't. You have to stay the course. Mistakes don't mean anything. It's either you win or you learn. You win or learn. Win or learn. Take your pick. You're going to do both. Along the way as an entrepreneur, you're going to do both. And it's exciting. There's so much excitement. It really is about trust. It is about just trusting the simple fact that, you know what, you're going to get through this. You're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. It doesn't look like it in some moments. But then you wake up the next day and you're like, wow, I just had this really cool idea. It came to me, and you just run with it. Go out and execute.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like I said before, accessing everyone around you. Find those people who are doing things that you know are successful and bring that to your business. Up-level it. Everyone around you has struggles, and they're going to have ideas, and nobody's got it all figured out. Do you have it all figured out? I don't have it all figured out. Do you guys have it all figured out? All my guys in the studio don't have it all figured out. None of us do. So you know what? Doesn't that leave us at zero? It sort of leaves us with this big level fun playing field. And the more we play and the more we're happy to do what we do, the more people get drawn in. And I think that's a key too. I don't ever want to do anything that makes me unhappy. I will never do that again. I spent many, many years doing things that were toxic for me and didn't make me happy. I don't wake up and do that anymore. And we can all create our lives. You can create it. You just have to make your mind up and say, okay, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Because once you chop that off and you commit and you become 100% responsible for your life, 100% responsible for your life, everything changes.
Yeah, that is so, so powerful. And to have that responsibility for our actions. And another thing that I think is super important is to distinguish that difference between excellence and perfection.
Yes. Good
And
point.
if we can throw away that idea of functioning in the state of perfection, look, I have considered myself a perfectionist for so long. And the more that I have done the journey into myself, into how I function, to how other people function, do we function together? What if we were to wake up every day and say, today I'm going to function at the highest level of excellence. If I'm going to bake a croissant, I'm going to teach myself every day to make the absolute most excellent croissant that I can bake. If I'm fixing a pool, I'm going to fix the pool to the best possible way that's possible so that I don't have to come back in 3 months and fix that pool again. So what if we were to show up every day to the highest levels of excellence?
Yes. Doesn't that make us feel the best also? Is when you're giving that 100% of you to yourself first and then to other people, they know it. They know when you're showing up. No one cares how much you know unless they know how much you care. Okay, we have 1 minute. Say something to us, Natalia, please, that will amp us up into the stratosphere for this week. I'm excited.
So, homework. Find a way that motivates you. Read a book. There's a book that I really love. It's called Be Like Water. So if you were to think of yourself as water, water always finds the way to the ocean. It pivots. It has stuff in the way. So we all get stuff in the way. Every single person has stuff in life show up. But if we come together as a community and truly help each other and we figure it all out together, there's a lot of power in that.
I agree completely. Awesome. Thank you, Natalia Levy, for showing up. Hopefully, we'll see you again next week. I'm excited.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you learned how to get your brand off the ground and in the storefronts. If you are a successful business owner and want to help motivate people, contact us at 866-224-5422. See you next time.